the man who walked beyond the map. No one in the town of Greyhaven could remember when Elias Rowe first began to feel that something was missing. From the outside, his life looked complete. He had a small apartment above a bakery that smelled of warm bread every morning, a job repairing clocks and watches, and a quiet routine that never betrayed him. Yet every evening when he locked the shop and walked home beneath the dim orange streetlights, he felt as if he were living someone else's life, one that had been handed to him rather than chosen. Greyhaven was the kind of town that appeared on maps only because someone long ago had bothered to name it. Surrounded by forests to the north and a flat, endless plain to the south, it seemed untouched by time. People were born there, lived there, and were buried there, often without ever leaving. Elias had once believed that this was enough. But belief, he learned, is not permanent. The clocks he repaired were old. Many had belonged to families for generations, their wooden cases scratched and worn, their ticking uneven. Elias liked that about them. Every clock told time differently, yet all of them moved forward. He sometimes wondered why humans struggled so much with something clocks did so effortlessly. One evening, as rain tapped gently against the shop window, an old woman entered. She wore a dark coat and carried a small leather satchel. Her eyes were sharp, almost unsettling, as if she could see not only Elias, but everything he had been and might become. "I need this fixed," she said, placing a compass on the counter. Elias frowned. "I repair clocks," he replied politely, "not compasses. This one measures more than direction," she said calmly. Curiosity, a trait Elias had tried to suppress over the years, stirred inside him. He picked up the compass. It was heavy, cold to the touch, and strangely warm at the same time. The needle spun wildly before settling, not north, but toward the shop door. "It's broken," Elias said. The woman smiled. "No, it's honest." Before Elias could ask what she meant, the woman turned and left, vanishing into the rain. The compass remained on the counter. No payment, no instructions. That night, Elias could not sleep. The compass lay on his bedside table, its needle glowing faintly in the dark, pointing always toward the same direction. Away from the town, beyond the southern plain, where maps faded into blank parchment. By morning, Elias had made a decision that terrified him. He locked the shop, packed a small bag, and followed the compass. The road south was long and empty. For the first time in his life, Elias walked without knowing exactly where he was going, and that uncertainty made his heart race. With every step, Greyhaven shrank behind him, said, but I'd rather be lost than return empty-handed. Elias realized then that being lost was not the same as moving forward. He continued his journey alone the next morning, carrying Tomas's words with him. The world beyond the map was not empty. Elias discovered villages built from stone and silence, cities half buried in sand, and people who spoke of dreams the way others spoke of weather, briefly, but with reverence. In one village he met a woman named Mira who painted the future. Her canvases showed moments that had not yet happened. Elias saw himself in one of them, standing at the edge of a vast canyon, older, stronger, unafraid. "Is that who I become?" he asked. "That depends," Mira said. "Paintings show possibility, not fate." The further Elias traveled, the less he feared the unknown. Hardship became a teacher. Hunger taught patience. Loneliness taught self-trust. Fear taught courage. Not the absence of fear, but movement despite it. Years seemed to pass, though Elias could no longer measure time. The compass remained his only constant companion. Eventually, Elias reached the canyon from Mira's painting. It stretched endlessly, its depths swallowing light. On the far side stood a structure unlike anything he had seen, a tower made of glass and shadow, shimmering as if unreal. The compass needle pointed straight toward it. Crossing the canyon required more than strength. A narrow bridge, fragile and swaying, was the only path. Halfway across, Elias froze. The wind howled, and memories flooded his mind. His shop, the bakery, the safety of routine. Turning back would be easy. Instead, Elias took another step. When he reached the tower, the doors opened without a sound. Inside, the walls reflected his past selves. The obedient boy, the cautious man, the dreamer, who had almost disappeared. At the center of the tower stood the old woman. "You followed," she said. "What is this place?" Elias asked. "It is where people meet the version of themselves they were too afraid to become." She gestured, and the reflections merged into one image. Elias, whole. "You were never meant to escape your life," she continued. "You were meant to expand it." The compass dissolved into light. When Elias returned to Greyhaven, no one recognized him at first. He walked differently, spoke differently, lived differently. He reopened his shop, but now it was more than a repair store. Travelers came to hear his stories, to borrow courage, the way one borrows fire. Greyhaven changed, not because Elias demanded it, but because possibility is contagious. And though he never again needed a compass, Elias kept one truth close to his heart. The world does not end where the map ends. It begins there.